not the worst front yard for the day. Surprisingly also not that expensive to park here. $1.50 an hour might not be the cheapest for street parking in most cities in the country, but for San Francisco, that's basically free. That being said, I really haven't found it to be that difficult to find parking throughout San Francisco during my time here over the past 2 months. And this is a question that I've been getting a lot. Like, where do you park? How do you find somewhere to park and stealth camp in the city? And realistically, I mean, it's really not that hard to find parking, especially towards like the quieter sections of the city on the western side of the city. I mean, there's tons of space over there. Parking is really, really easy as long as you're paying attention to like the street sweeping signs and things like that. But that's like any city for the most part. And usually there's a lot of open spots and places to park over there. So that really hasn't been too much of an issue for me. And even today, right now, I mean, it is rush hour. It's a super busy time. And there are a bunch of spots here on the Embarcadero for parking. And like I said, it's only $1.50 an hour. I mean, I've seen street parking up to like $10 an hour on some of these meters. It's kind of funny. You'll put quarters in and like you get like an extra minute. Every quarter you put in adds a minute. It's almost something out of like a comedy sketch or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. But for this video, I want to try to park in downtown and spend a night stealth camped closer to the downtown area here in San Francisco. So basically try to find a quieter spot within the really busy section of the city that is like the Market Street area, the Soma area, south of Market, like that sort of area. I can't really park here along the Embarcadero, unfortunately, because they don't allow parking from midnight to 6 a.m. There's a sign literally right in front of the Envy over here. But there are a bunch of other spots that I'm going to try to aim for. It might get kind of interesting. I think that there is a San Francisco Giants game tonight. I see a lot of people walking around in orange and black, and I'm thinking that that means that there's going to be a lot of people in the city for this, and the area that I was thinking about stealth camping is kind of right where the stadium is, so we'll see how it goes. It might get kind of crazy later on this evening. I'm planning to go out and walk around along the water here and take a few pictures this evening. Lighting is like perfect right now. It's a gorgeous evening, but first I need to eat some dinner. My original plan was to like cook up this elaborate meal. I thought it would be kind of fun to like make like a really nice meal with this beautiful view and everything like that, but then I went and got pizza last night, and I have a bunch of leftover pizza, so I think I'm just gonna eat that instead. And it's like, should I heat it up? Like, can you heat up pizza in an Instant Pot? I probably could figure out how to do it, but I kind of prefer leftover pizza cold anyway, so I think I'm just gonna eat this. So fun fact, there's technically only one Planet Fitness in the entire city of San Francisco. There's also another one, it's kind of on the outskirts of town in Daly City, but the problem is that one has locker rooms that have been under construction for the past 2 months while I've been here in the city, so haven't really been able to use that one because the main reason that I go to Planet Fitness is obviously to take a shower and stuff like that, and all the showers have been closed, and they're going to continue to be closed, I think, for another month before everything reopens, so that one's out. The other Planet Fitness that is in the city is located in probably the most inconvenient location possible. It is like a few blocks away from here in the middle of downtown, so it's really, really difficult to park there. I don't usually come down there simply because I'd have to pay to park, and it would just get kind of expensive, and it's just not really in a good spot. Also, the hours are ridiculous. Like, it's only open from 10 to 3 on Sundays, for example. Like, pretty strange hours. So that's a big reason why I've been spending so much time in the South Bay to go to the Planet Fitnesses down there, so that I can actually like take showers and not smell terrible. But while I'm here downtown spending the night in this part of the city, I figure I might as well go check out that Planet Fitness, try to get a quick workout and a shower in. Yeah, so I just scored a spot directly in front of the gym, like right in front of the front door. Not sure how it happened, but the meter has expired as well. They don't charge for parking after 6 p.m., so I can park here for free. Suddenly just became the best night ever. Pretty solid workout. I think I was just a little excited about having the parking spot right out in front like that. I was like pretty stoked, so got a pretty good workout in and then was able to get a shower, and now I am gonna head over to the other side of the downtown area and try to find a place to park for the night. I have an area in mind that I stayed at once before. It's the Mission Bay area. I think I might have mentioned that earlier in this video, but the idea would be to find somewhere around there. It's a pretty quiet area. In terms of stealth camping, it is pretty much just the same deal as always for me, the same thing that I've been doing for the past few years. I always tend to switch up my spot every single night. I never stay in the same place more than once in a week, sometimes not even more than once in a month. I'm always moving around different neighborhoods, different cities, everything like that. And the same deal applies here in San Francisco. And a lot of people ask, are things more difficult stealth camping because I have a van that is more obvious now, that's not necessarily as stealthy as the Element was? And not really. I think that as long as I stick to those principles of stealth camping, I don't really think I'm going to have too many issues. I don't even think most people notice that this thing is a camper van. For us as, van lifers, if you're watching this channel, you probably have heard of van life before. You probably know about it. So for people that have been exposed to it and know about it, it's pretty easy to pick it out and to say, oh yeah, there's a solar panel on there and a vent fan. Obviously, that's a camper van. But for the average person, I don't think that they see this van and they know what they're looking at necessarily. And even if they do know what they're looking at, they almost never assume that I'm in the van. Like, I've had people look at the van and start walking around it and say, oh, look, that's a really cool camper van. Look at the solar panel, look at the vent, look at all this stuff. But they never assume that I'm just sitting in the van on the other side of the limo tinted window looking right at them, being like, are they ever going to stop pointing at my van and taking pictures of it? They just don't think that I'm in there. Most people don't assume that there's someone living inside a camper van. Generally speaking, I think, like I said before, if I just kind of stick with the switching it up every single night and moving around and stuff like that, I don't think I'm going to have too many issues. I mean, I've been doing this for over 3 years, guys, and to this day, I've only received one knock from a police officer while parked on a city street. There have been other ones from security guards and stuff at Walmart parking lots, things like that. But in terms of being street side, it's only happened one time, and it was in a really, really wealthy town where I probably shouldn't have been parking to begin with. So, I think that on average, I don't think I'm going to have too many issues as long as I keep moving it around and everything like that. And that is my plan for tonight, to find somewhere that I've never parked before, park there, and then get out early in the morning and move on with my day. This spot will do. So that's my spot right over there, and that's downtown San Francisco. This should work out pretty well for the night. It is extremely quiet. There's only been like a handful of cars to drive by here since I've been parked here, and it's been like over 15 minutes at this point. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think I'll be able to get a good night's rest. And it's just surprising that it's so quiet because it is so close to downtown. And I mean, it's pretty much walking distance to Soma for the most part. But at the same time, it's just a quiet residential neighborhood, which is exactly what I'm always looking for, But it's a little bit of a different residential neighborhood. We are surrounded right now by like giant high-rise buildings, like 6 stories. There's probably a 10-story apartment building right up over there. I mean, it's pretty densely populated, but for some reason there's plenty of street parking and it's really, really quiet. Not really 100% sure why. I think it's still kind of like a developing neighborhood. I think that in a few years it's probably not going to be the same. The Golden State Warriors, the basketball team, the NBA team here, is moving to this neighborhood. They have a stadium that's being built here, so I think once that happens things are going to change, but I'll enjoy it for now. I'll enjoy being able to get a good night's rest while also being within walking distance of the city and everything like that, and I'll let you guys know how it goes in the morning. So while I'm asleep here, this is probably a good time to mention that this video is sponsored. It is sponsored by a company called Ridge Wallets. They make minimalist wallet designs, almost as an alternative to the traditional style leather wallet like the old one that I have right here. And this one, you know, I have issues with wallets. Over time, they tend to wear out pretty quickly. This one I've only had for about a year, and it's all worn all over the place. And the worst part is that the credit card holders and all the card holders stretch out. So if I go to pull out one of my cards, like my Starbucks card, I use that one pretty frequently, and even if I slightly tilt this thing to the side, all of my other cards go flying out like that, and it's pretty annoying that it stretches out, and I have to constantly be mindful of that every time I take out a card. So the Ridge wallet here is specifically designed to not stretch out over time. They have a mechanism built in where they can fit cards in, and as you put more cards in, it expands, and then it kind of contracts on the cards when you take cards out, and the idea is that they're just kind of meant to be more durable and last for a lot longer than your traditional leather style wallet. Thank you again to Ridge for hooking me up with this one here, and be sure to check them out. I'm going to put a link in the description below. I also have a 10% discount on all products from their online store. The promo code is ELEMENT. Be sure to use promo code ELEMENT at checkout to get that discount, and maybe a good Father's Day gift idea. I know that that's coming up pretty soon. I would love to get my dad to try to transition to one of these wallets. He currently has not quite the George Costanza level wallet, but something kind of similar with all kind of stuff stuffed in there that you don't need. The idea behind this is to keep you minimalist, is to make sure that you're only carrying the things that you need on you, and it also just takes up a lot less space in your pocket, and it's just a more comfortable thing to have. So, like I said, thank you again, Ridge. I'm really looking forward to giving this a try. So this street here went from being extremely quiet last night to being relatively loud this morning. Moderately loud, I'd say. It's not so bad. It's not something that I can't sleep through or anything like that. Definitely not anything like some of the places that I've parked in New York City or Los Angeles or even San Diego. But I guess that's kind of just part of being in an urban environment. People are going to work now. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, but I do have some free parking here for another hour or so. So I think I'm gonna go walk around and explore a little bit in this area, kind of enjoy the beautiful views that I have from my backyard this morning. Crazy to think that some of the apartments around here will rent for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, even up to $6,000 a month, and a lot of the time that's just for like a one bedroom or even a studio, like without any bedrooms at all. I mean, I get the appeal of wanting to be in the city where all the hustle and bustle is, you know, to be able to live in the heart of the city. I definitely understand that. I think that that's a pretty cool thing, but for me personally, like, I don't know if I could ever justify spending that much money each month to live somewhere, regardless of how much money I was making at the time. I know that there's an alternative in van life, and I know that that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. I know that it's not without its sacrifices, but I think I'm gonna choose to live in a van instead. I could definitely see myself stealth camping in this part of town more frequently. It's really nice to be downtown and right in the middle of the city, really close to the city and everything like that. And sometimes I have meetings, and to be able to just roll out of bed and go to that meeting it'd be really convenient. It'd be pretty nice, and it's very, very possible. It's really easy to just stealth camp down here. So if there's a reason for me to be over here, like for example, I want to take a shower at the only Planet Fitness in town or go to a work meeting or whatever it may be, it's I don't know, it's something that I could definitely see myself doing more frequently into the future. Hope this video was helpful for some of you guys that are curious about stealth camping in very urban environments like this one here. More often than not, I do find myself spending time in cities, as some of you guys will already know who follow along on the journey here. And you know, I guess I kind of have stealth camping down to a science that works for me personally. And even though I have a bigger van now that is definitely more obvious, as I said yesterday, it seems to be working out okay as long as I stick to my routine of switching it up every night and everything like that, and as long as I'm respectful when I'm stealth camping in different neighborhoods. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.